Let's give Chris a call, see what he has to say.
Hello.
You're live with Gold Derby's Emmy nomination coverage.
Yeah, I've been watching you and Tom and Rob, and you've said everything I want to say.
Oh no! Well, we haven't. I saw this just posted recently by Carl Weldo. How do you think having all 4 Modern Family guys will affect the results? How do you think that race is going to play out now that all 4 are in?
Well, they definitely need to coordinate and make sure that they don't, none of the 4 of them submit the same episode. They might as well get, four for the money there. Other than that, they're going to have 4 times the time that John Cryer has, and that Chris Colwell half the time, or double the time that Chris Colfer has. So I think it could help. One of them certainly might break through. I've been saying all along, maybe Ty Burrell, this might be his year, and he'll get, if he submits the one that we talked to him about, which was the good dog, good cop, bad dog, or whatever it was, he gets to play a whole other side of his character in that, and then he could be the normal Phil in the other 3 episodes, and that might really help him.
Yeah. Brian222 says it means Chris Colfer might benefit from vote splitting. Do you think that could occur?
Colfer's definitely got a shot, but I mean, vote splitting didn't hurt Eric Stonestreet last year, and there were 3 of them. I don't know that adding a 4th is going to hurt that much more.
It seemed like that didn't hurt the West Wing either.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't. You just never know in those kind of situations. You could have a Modern Family fan, somebody that watches it every week as a voter, and they just don't know who to pick. So they mark one name, and the next guy that's a Modern Family fan marks a different name, and it can hurt, but it might be beneficial here as well.
Talking about the comedy races, how do you see the comedy series race shaping up? Which show's the big winner this morning? Which show's the big loser?
Well, one thing I always look at, it's been the case for I think 20-25 years. On both the comedy and drama, it's extremely rare for a show to win comedy series or drama series without having at least a writing or a directing nomination.
Yeah.
I know it happened to, I think it was it Friends? I think the year that it won, but everybody knew Friends was going to win that year. And I think maybe Picket Fences, or maybe it was like one other time maybe on the drama side in the last 20-25 years, but it's pretty rare. So that does not help Glee at all. Glee has no directing nominations and no writing nominations, so that probably doesn't help them. Big Bang Theory has no directing or writing, but 30 Rock does, The Office does, and Modern Family does. So that could really benefit them that they have such widespread support. I would tend to say Modern Family has still got the upper hand here.
Yeah. It's interesting that 30 Rock only has 1 writing nomination that I'm looking at now. I think this might be the first year they've only got 1 there.
Yeah, they've really rolled back on what 30 Rock has got. Normally they've got 2 or 3 there. Same is on the case for Mad Men on the drama side too. I noticed Mad Men has no directing nominations this year, which is rare. They never won directing, but they've always been nominated. And they've only got 2 writing. And think how many years Mad Men has had 3 and 4 writing nominations.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, it might be a little bit telling on Mad Men that, say, a Boardwalk Empire might be sneaking up on them.
Yeah, exactly. Just running through the writing nominees for those who haven't checked them out yet. For comedy episodes, for episode 107, The Office for Goodbye Michael, Modern Family for Caught in the Act, Louie for the Poker Divorce episode, and 30 Rock for Reaganing, which I thought was a much better episode than their 100th episode. So I think the Emmy voters have done a good job there.
Yeah, Reaganing was okay. I thought, the Writers Guild rewarded When It Rains, It Pours. I thought that one might get in there as well, but it did not. That was kind of an interesting choice there. And Louie C.K., you just mentioned him being a writing nominee. Yes. He's also in for writing his variety special, and everybody saw on the screen where he is up for lead actor, which I had moved him into my predictions just in the last week. So I was happy that I was kind of on that wavelength with the Academy voters.
Yeah. Louie C.K., can he win any of these?
I don't think he can win acting. I think his best shots would be one of the 2 writing categories, to be honest. And I think it might be a little easier on the variety special side. I don't remember who all was in there. I can look real quick. But writing for a comedy series, that may even be a little bit more difficult. Let me look and see who he's up against on variety. That's always an interesting category. Colin Quinn for his Broadway show. Louie C.K. The whole group of Night of Too Many Stars, which is Jon Stewart's charity event. The Real Women of SNL and the Tony Awards. I think did the Tony Awards win that last year?
Not sure.
I think they did, which was kind of surprising that an award show would beat out, some comedy specials that are much more dependent on their writing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just looking at the directing, Modern Family has 3 directing nominations.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Because you don't think about directing first, maybe on that show. You think about acting, you think about writing. That's why I thought Glee would certainly get in at least one directing nomination. It won directing last year. And it's no matter what you think about the show, it is very well structured visually, and it's it is a visual show, and I thought certainly it would get a directing nomination and maybe even win the category in directing.
And in the comedy series race, we have 3 mockumentaries. Parks and Recreation, The Office, and Modern Family. Do you think they'll split the vote at all?
It's between those 3, I think, for the win. We don't know what the episodes that have been chosen for The Office or Parks yet. We'll probably find that out in the next day or two. They'll probably select pretty well. I would imagine The Office certainly had more than 6 really good episodes, and they've got some really emotional episodes there, toward the finale. Parks has some incredibly funny episodes, so I don't think it's Modern Family's, in the bag, but I think it's probably still in the front runner since it won last year.
Yeah, if I could advise The Office producers, I'd be treating this like a final season of The Office with Steve Carell leaving. I'd be submitting episodes that have that nostalgia and make it feel like a special season for the show.
Right. Well, let's see. The Goodbye Michael episode may count only as one, so if they submit that, that would be a whole reel. So then they only have to choose 4 other ones, and they would certainly choose the one where he proposes, the garage sale one. And then they need to stay away from the ones after he left. They could certainly find 3 other really, really good ones from the middle of the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think do we know how many nominations The Office picked up today?
Yeah, if you'll keep talking, I'll find out for you.
Yeah, The Office is a show that I think could. It had a creative resurgence this year. There's buzz around Michael leaving. Emmy voters might feel like this is their last chance to reward The Office.
Yeah, I don't. Now that I look at this, I would tend to say maybe it's not going to win. It's only got 4 nominations. It would be pretty rare for a show to have that few and win for series.
Actually, the last
30 Rock has 13.
Yes.
And Modern Family has 17.
Although the last show that came close to that was The Office, that only had 5 nominations the year it won.
Oh, was that the case the year that it?
Yes.
That it won? Okay.
Yeah. Obviously.
Even How I Met Your Mother has more than The Office. Isn't that interesting? And that's without Neil, and that's without John.
John Lithgow. Yeah. So The Office might not be in a stronger position as I thought a minute ago. What do people in the chat room think is the biggest contender for Modern Family? A lot of Parks and Rec are coming up from the board.
I would love that. Parks and Rec. I don't know if I can ever remember a show improving more from, say, a first few episodes, which its first season was only like 6 episodes, to now. It is totally in a groove and really knows what kind of a show it is and has an incredible ensemble. I would love to see that win. Unfortunately, it has no writing and directing nominations, so it'd be a really uphill climb.
Yeah, no, definitely. What else do you want to talk about, Chris?
Oh, just various notes here that I wrote down. Supporting actor comedy. The Tracy Morgan whole fiasco certainly did not help him, although he wasn't nominated last year either. Oliver Platt, he's gotten Emmy nominations before. Almost every time they've been a surprise. So it's kind of a little bit of a surprise, I would say, that he didn't get one for the Big C. Another guy that didn't get in for the Big C We all had Bill Condon, Oscar
Yes.
award-winning actor, getting in as a director for the Big C, and he directed the pilot, and he did not make it in. On the guest actress category, comedy, two legendary ladies. You look at the ballot sometimes and you think people are just checking off names that they know, and other
Yeah.
times you wonder, well, how did they not check off those names? They're legends, like Elaine Stritch, who's been up several times for 30 Rock and won one year, and Carol
Yeah.
Burnett didn't get in for Glee, and I don't know that she deserved it based on the role, but I thought, she's Carol Burnett, she's going to get nominated.
Yeah.
Same case with Carl Reiner and Tim Conway on Hot in Cleveland. I thought both of
Yeah.
those guys might make it in. Here's a couple of names that, when you really look at the overall list, I am really, really surprised in the movie supporting category.
Mhm.
James Gandolfini and Tim Robbins are left off, and the
Oh.
movie that they're in is up for best movie. So obviously they like the movie. That's really surprising to me based on their careers.
Mm. Yeah, we've got an interesting a comment. Just I think you'll like this, Chris. Eisner in the forum says, "No Ron Swanson nom, sad face."
Well, that was one of the people I was pulling for the most. He's one of the most unique characters on TV. With Parks getting the comedy series nomination, and then Amy getting in, and then a little other support there, I thought that would bode well for him, but he just still didn't make it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'll see in the comments about Community, and that's another show that I love, and I don't believe it got a single nomination this year. And we all thought almost three open slots in comedy actor that Joel McHale would make it in, but he still didn't make it.
Yeah, no, that's a huge shock, especially considering some of the people who did get in. They didn't just fall back on Matthew Morrison. They actually did look for new people to fill that category with, and it's a surprise they didn't go to Joel McHale.
Yeah, that was an interesting category when it was actually filled out to actually knock Matthew Morrison out and pick up three new people. That's not something the Emmy voters often do. You've already mentioned the SVU situation.
Yes.
They've won Guest Actress, I don't know how many years in a row, 4 or 5 years in a row. And this year, they had 10 or 12 ladies that all could have contended. Just, week after week after week, you could tell that that's kind of their thing now. And with Shohreh Aghdashloo and Deborah Messing and Jennifer Love Hewitt and Marcia Gay Harden, and they were just on and on this year. Maria Bello, and none of them got in, which is really surprising. And Ellen Burstyn didn't get in for Big Love. She was nominated last year, so they really went to some new people there in that, or new shows there in that guest actress category.